19 minutes after 7 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in this Monday morning. It is February 22nd, 2016. 50 degrees here at the studios of The Source, WOCA, broadcasting live from the Paddock Mall just outside the WOCA commissary, where you two can get a bite to eat. And looks like a pretty good forecast.
It looks
no mention of rain today. Partly cloudy skies. Highs around 80 degrees today.
Yay!
But there is some weather coming. I'll tell you about that in just a little bit.
Ooh.
But for today, so far so good, right? Tomorrow, highs around 82 degrees. Good morning, Robin. How are you?
Good. How are you, Larry?
Good. We had a good weekend. Went to see some animals in the zoo.
Yeah, fabulous. Outstanding.
We don't call it a zoo. We call it a state park. But,
yes, we do.
But it's kind of like the same thing as a zoo, right?
I think so, but it's wonderful.
Homosassa Springs is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Let's see what we're doing this morning. 7:35. Gosh, we've got some news to talk about, political news, science news, religious news, just simple news, horrible news, of course, out of Michigan, that story.
Horrible.
So we'll talk about the news and offer our opinion and our thoughts on those things. And the phone lines will be open so you can express your thoughts on those things as well. 8:35 is when we bring the news, but it's a little different in that we don't offer opinion, we don't have the phone lines open, and we don't change the wording. We just read it, and we shorten it. We just keep it short so that we can get to the point of the story and move on to the next story. Bern Pareso brightens the studio at 9:05. She always does every Monday morning. She is our medical reporter. She's the president and CEO of Good for All Marketing, and we love when Bern comes in here. We love Bern.
She's awesome.
Frank Friday. With two Y's on the end of his name.
Yes,
Frank
I checked
Friday.
and double-checked. I do a lot of typos, but that one I had to make sure I got right.
Frank Friday is a singer, songwriter, recording artist, and he's coming in on Monday. Just so I've said it.
Oh.
He wants to talk to us about music. He says, what is it about music, among the arts, that makes it so indispensable to humans? Mm-hmm. There was some... music. Oh, you got it off the printer. Thank you.
Yes.
There was some music heard by our NASA astronauts when they went to the other side of the moon. I'll show you that in a little bit.
Oh, okay.
I got the music for you. I can play it for you.
Nice.
Sound recordings that have been in the archives since they went up to the moon.
Wow.
Vern Leenvebers. Mm-hmm. Leenvebers. I'm probably saying that name wrong. Vera, not Vern. Vera.
Vera.
I need new glasses. Vera Leenveber. Never mind. Vera was a child in Latvia during World War II and a pianist who had performed across Europe and North America. She teaches piano in Toronto, Canada. She's coming to talk to us about her book, No Time to Cry. It's a memoir.
Yeah, it is so fascinating.
Dr. Peg O'Connor is coming on at 10:05. Dr. O'Connor is a professor of philosophy and gender, women, and sexuality studies. We're talking about the book Life on the Rocks, Finding Meaning in Addiction and Recovery.
I like that.
I don't quite get the connection there, but we'll find out. 10:35, Dr. Ernest Morell. Morell. A literary expert and the Macy Professor of English Education. The Macy Professor.
I know. It's like, where's the balloons?
Every child a super reader. 7 strengths to open a world of possible. And then Robert Gallant is an active retiree. Oh, there's a credential for you. What was your business card say? Active retiree. He's an advocate for healthy living. He's a traveler, and he's written a book called Rob the Vatican. It's a thriller novel.
Yeah, he's in his 80s.
Rob the Vatican. Don't rob the Vatican. Fun with Joe today. Today is... hold on. I didn't prepare this.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Today is National Cook a Sweet Potato Day.
Oh, I love
National
sweet potatoes.
Cook a Sweet Potato Day. And it's also National Margarita Day.
Missy loves margaritas.
Missy loves margaritas. Today is National Margarita Day.
We did a video.
We did.
First got here, yeah.
So, in honor of National Margarita Day, Jimmy Buffett and pirates.
Yes.
Today on Fun with Joe, we're going to talk about booty. A pirate's booty. It's all about gold and silver, Robin.
Wow.
Yeah, boy, that was a stretch all the way from Margaritaville to gold and silver.
Well, I know, but they drink a lot. Maybe not the fancy drinks. They just take swigs out of the bottle. So
Yeah,
why not?
the mythical, the legendary pirates. I think today's pirates are a totally different species.
Well, not if we went to that pirate fest they have every year in Tampa. They just have a good time on those floats.
Those guys, yeah. All right. So there you go. I lost track of what I was going to
I
say.
like that about the music, though, from the moon in the archives.
I can
and
show you
stuff.
that. You want me to
is
show you?
awesome.
Oh, let me tell you about the weather first.
Galen, too. You didn't talk about Galen.
Oh, Galen segment. I knew there was something I was missing.
Yeah.
Galen segment. Spring break it's not here yet, right? But it's close.
Yeah.
Or is it here in some parts of the country?
It's in some parts of the country because this has been race week, and then right after race week, spring break starts. So.
I can hardly hear you.
Is
that better? There,
here I am.
That's better. Okay. So yeah, so spring break, and people are going to go to places where there are theme parks. Florida being one of those places.
Mm-hmm.
So I have the 10 worst theme parks in the world for Galen.
Oh gosh.
The 10 worst. None of them are in Florida, by the way.
Oh, okay.
We do have 2 in the United States.
Oh, okay.
You wait till you hear some of these theme parks. They're horrible. All right, here's a little weather. The southeastern and southern mid-Atlantic regions of the United States will face the return of severe weather this week, including our area.
Oh, my
The
gosh.
same winter storms that set to spread disruptive snow into the Midwest and push drenching rain across the Northeast threatens to ignite severe weather in the nation's southeastern corner. Let's see. It goes all the way from Houston to Raleigh to D.C., all the way down. It looks like it goes down as far south as just north of Lake Okeechobee,
Oh, my gosh.
which includes us. Conditions will be conducive for severe thunderstorms developing from the Gulf Coast states on Tuesday and spreading into the mid-Atlantic region on Wednesday.
Oh.
We have a 20% chance of rain mentioned for tomorrow, a 90% chance for Wednesday. So that must be the storm on Wednesday that they're talking about. Mm-hmm. AccuWeather is where we're getting this from. So if you have something different, that's probably why. After rain and thunderstorms start the week, severe thunderstorms will erupt across southeastern Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi tomorrow, before spreading to the southeast and southern mid-Atlantic Wednesday and Wednesday evening. So we're going to get it Wednesday and Wednesday night.
Oh, okay.
Cities in the threat zone include Houston, New Orleans, Lake Charles, Louisiana, Jackson and Gulfport, Mississippi, Mobile and Montgomery, Alabama, Atlanta, Georgia, Jacksonville, and Tampa, Florida. And we're right between the two. Mm-hmm. Charlotte and Raleigh, North Carolina, and Richmond, Virginia.
Gosh.
Some of the same communities are at risk, still dealing with the aftermath left by the severe weather early last week.
Wow.
So not to scare you, just to prepare you. It was a little
Oh, I love that.
saying there, right there.
That's a great saying, not to scare you, just to prepare you. I love that. That could be used a lot. I love that. It's great for the weathermen.
The impending severe weather will be fueled by the storm's cold front clashing with the warm and moist air pouring northward ahead of the storm. So let's look at the temperatures. Oh, yeah, 80, 82 today and tomorrow, and then 66 by Thursday. So some cold temperatures moving in, cool temperatures moving in. Lows around 40 degrees, 35 degrees Friday night. Whoa.
Wow.
So that's what happens. That's
Sweater
what
weather.
makes tornadoes, right?
Yeah.
If you were paying attention to the Daytona 500 yesterday, Denny Hamlin won.
Okay. I'm not familiar with his name.
So that was now you will be. He won the race.
Is he a young guy? Or they didn't say?
I don't know. They probably did, but I don't know. I didn't look it up. I just got the winner. Jeb Bush dropped out of the presidential race, as I'm sure you know. Mm-hmm. Donald Trump, as you know, won South Carolina. Marco Rubio and Ted Cruz getting excited because they were number 2, kind of.
Yeah, right.
Let's see, anything else here? Okay, those were all those
You're
things.
getting excited.
They get excited. Funny way to put that in.
That. That's great.
Well, I have this thing. I have this sound to play from the from the astronauts, but I only have a minute left, and the
okay.
the soundbite I have is more than a minute long. Oh,
Okay.
here's something I can squeeze in here. Dorothy Hollingsworth was just 7 years old when her brother Tom Hollingsworth left the family farm in Indiana to join the Army a few months before the United States entered World War II, and she never saw him again. Now, more than 70 years later, Private First Class Thomas E. Davis, I guess his name was Davis, was killed in the war's final battle. A tangible reminder of her beloved brother has been found on the Pacific island of Saipan, one of his Army dog tags.
Oh, wow.
Hollingsworth is 82 years old. She lives outside Dayton, Ohio. They found her brother's Army her dog tags, his dog tags.
That is cool.
All right, we'll take a little break. We'll be right back. This is The Source, WOCA Ocala.
News Radio, I'm Carmen Roberts. The Supreme Court returns to work this morning. Its first session without Justice Antonin Scalia. The court will hear two cases.
First argument deals with whether a veteran-owned business should have been given preference for a federal contract as part of a 2006 law. The second case focuses on the Fourth Amendment and what evidence can be used when police question a potential suspect.
Fox's Jared Halpern. Senator Marco Rubio's gearing up for Nevada's GOP caucus on Tuesday. Fox's Mike Emanuel.
On Fox News Sunday, Rubio was asked if other candidates lower in the polls should drop out to narrow the field.
I believe that the sooner we can coalesce, the better we're going to be as a party in general. I mean, and so certainly, but I'm not here to tell him to do whatever he needs to do. It's going to happen one way or another. There's a natural process that's going to take hold. I think the question is the timing.
Democrats vote Saturday in South Carolina. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Wildfires burn millions of acres each year. And each year, wildland firefighters like Fire Chief James Hall battle to contain them. But they can't do it alone.
A single ember that escapes from a wildfire can travel more than a mile. It can ignite and destroy your home, your community, or more. That single ember can be just as dangerous as the wildfire itself. But you can do something firefighters can't. You can act now to prepare your home and your community for wildfire. You can reduce the risk. Do your part. Go to fireadapted.org.
Get fire adapted. Learn what you can do now to reduce wildfire damage later at fireadapted.org. A public service message brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council. Learn more at fireadapted.org.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Because music stirs up strong emotions, it makes it easier for our brain to store information about that event. Showering less will definitely help most people's complexions because hot showers melt away the oils that seal in moisture and keep skin supple. Dogs are man's best friend, right? But new research from Nature's Scientific Reports now shows that dogs also do nice things for other dogs.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Robin, let's try a little plant trivia. Name this nursery. It's a not-for-profit, and it teaches growing and caring for plants to their students.
Oh, that's easy. Kenny's Place.
Or how about this one? It's a nursery conveniently located between Ocala and Bellevue.
Again, it's Kenny's Place.
Or how about this one? A nursery with a wide variety of just what you need or want at the most reasonable prices.
Kenny's Place, of course.
Kenny's Place at 7677 Southeast 41st Court. Give them a call at 867-1213. It's a caring place for people and plants. It's Kenny's Place.
Gene Powell, Pasture Mowing. Gene and Debbie would like to thank you for another successful year of business. We also want to wish everybody a safe, healthy, and prosperous 2016. We are ready to be of service with our pasture mowing. 352-629-2440. Locally owned and operated, experienced and reliable, commercial and residential, licensed and insured. Powell Gene, Gene at yahoo.com. 352-629-2440. Gene Powell, Pasture Mowing. 352-629-2440.
Palm Garden wants to get to the heart of the matter. If you've been in the hospital as a cardiac patient, maybe you have a pacemaker or congestive heart failure or an arrhythmia, or perhaps you're a heart bypass patient, then consider Palm Garden as your rehab choice. With proven outcomes second to none, Palm Garden fixes broken hearts. Call today at 854-6262. That's 854-6262.
Have you heard of Hyperdirectory? When looking for local businesses, go to hyper.directory. No need for www, no need for .com, just hyper.directory. Connecting customers to local companies when it matters most. Hyperdirectory is your local business directory partnered with the Ocala Chamber and Economic Partnership to bring you trusted local businesses. Keeping Ocala local. Use hyper.directory. No www, not even .com, just hyper.directory. Connecting customers to businesses when it matters most.
WWWOCA, WWWOCA.
This is James Snyder, inviting you to join me each Sunday morning at 9:30 for Sunday Joy on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM.
Hi, I'm Fran Darkington. When I need news, I pass the rest and tune to the source, WOCA.
25 minutes before 8 o'clock. Nice looking Monday morning. Hope you're doing well. The weather's going to be nice today. The weather, I slurred a little bit. The weather is going to be nice today and tomorrow. There's a ribbon cutting today at 9 this morning. The Ocala Marion County Chamber and Economic Partnership Power Plant Business Incubator is the location for this one. It's the DimensionWorks 3D printing firm that is holding the ribbon cutting. The business incubator is at 405 Southeast Osceola Avenue here in Ocala if you want to attend the ribbon cutting. The ribbon cutting for DimensionWorks 3D printing. 3D printing is an exciting new technology, isn't it?
It's very exciting. I can't wait to see it in action.
So the ribbon cutting will be today at this morning at 9, about an hour and a half from now.
Well, we kind of saw it in action when we go to the theme parks years ago, and you put your money in there, and then it would create like a dinosaur. But I guess it's made right since then. Yeah,
it's a little different. The Mojo Grill and Catering Company also having a ribbon cutting this afternoon at 4:30. I bet you there's some food.
I bet there is.
It's a ribbon cutting and grand opening for the Mojo Grill and Catering Company's new location, which is at 4620 East Silver Springs Boulevard. Oh, we've seen that in the works for a while, huh?
Yeah, we have.
So finally they're opening, huh?
I guess so.
So the ribbon cutting at 4:30 this afternoon if you want to be there. And those are the only two for today.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so there was this story that got my attention, and we'll get to the harder news in a second, but this was just such an interesting story to me. NASA released recordings of outer space-type music from the far side of the moon, the dark side.
Wow.
The side you never see, right?
Yeah.
And rather than just read the whole thing to you, I have a little soundbite for you that I want to share with you.
Apollo 10 enters lunar orbit. As they pass around the far side of the moon, the astronauts lose all contact with Earth.
Very dramatic.
It's about an hour on the backside of the moon, away from Earth, where you lose radio contact.
During this hour, the astronauts are on their own. No one on Earth can see or hear them.
So much
when
drama.
They emerge, they seem to have survived their voyage around the far side unscathed.
Houston, you can tell the world that we have arrived.
As far as anyone on Earth knows, this mission is going like clockwork. Everything according to plan. There's nothing irregular going on at all.
But nearly 4 decades later, lost recordings emerge revealing an unsettling incident on the far side of the moon.
There are recorders that record whatever's going on the backside, and then you do a data dump when you come around the front side. And Houston or Mission Control then can see what happened when you were around the backside.
After the NASA astronauts return to Earth.
Roger, Houston, we are returning to the Earth. Over.
NASA transcribes the tapes, then buries them in the archives without comment.
These conversations are recorded in the transcripts, but those transcripts were classified.
NASA would withhold information from the public if they thought it was in the public's best interest.
Even after declassification, the transcripts lay undiscovered in the NASA archives until 2008.
Finding record of this conversation is like finding a needle in a haystack. It takes years to come to light.
The tapes contain recordings of strange, otherworldly music coming through the Apollo module's radio. conversations that followed the sounds makes it clear they are unlike anything the astronauts have ever heard.
That is the even sound outer space, doesn't it? Do you hear that? That whistling sound? Sounds like, outer space type music. Boy, that sure is weird music.
Over the course of an hour, they mention it multiple times. This is not just some anomaly. This is something that they're all really hearing, and it's really weird.
After almost an hour of transmission, the sound stops.
Boy, it got quiet, didn't it?
Before they re-enter radio contact with Earth, the astronauts discuss whether to report their experience to Mission Control.
Who's gonna believe it? Nobody. Shall we tell them something? I don't know. We ought to think about it.
I don't know if you can hear that, but they were saying, should we tell anybody? I don't know. Nobody's going to believe us.
Yeah, that is cool.
So this is what they heard right here. Isn't that weird?
That's very weird.
It sounds like Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just found that interesting.
Well, you'd have thought they'd have sent more rockets up there just to go around the backside of the moon to get more recordings of stuff.
Somebody should have put this on a record. This song right here.
Exactly.
Listen to this.
Somebody is now. This is cool.
Sounds like a record to me.
Sounds ominous.
Like something from the Pink Floyd era.
Yeah, exactly. That is so
That's cool stuff. That's
How
cool
can
stuff.
they not
That is
have
just cool stuff.
followed up and investigated on this? I would have been so curious and said, let's send up another rocket and go around the moon.
Yes, do it again.
I mean, gee,
Do it again.
there's something out there,
Should
and
be
now
cool.
they're afraid of cats. They don't want to find out. Well, good for whoever it was that unearthed the archives and brought it to our attention.
All right,
There you go.
Hope you had some fun with that one.
That is cool.
All right, here's the horrible story. We hate
Floyd
these
is
stories.
having a good time now.
Pink Floyd having a really good time with that one. At least 6 people were shot and killed and several others wounded in Michigan Saturday night in a series of apparently random shootings. The Kalamazoo Department of Public Safety said on its Facebook page that the 6 people were killed in at least 3 shootings throughout Kalamazoo County. How horrible is this?
It's horrible.
It was an Uber driver, by the way.
Oh.
The Public Safety Department described the suspect as a white male in his 50s who was believed to be driving a dark-colored Chevy with chrome wheels. Early yesterday, the TV station WMT said on its website that a strong suspect was in custody, citing Kalamazoo Public Safety Chief Jeff Hadley. The station reported that police had assured them they had apprehended the shooter. According to the media there in that town, 4 people were shot dead at a Cracker Barrel restaurant in Texas Township. 2 more died at a Sealy Kia dealership in Kalamazoo.
Horrible, horrible.
The carnage began early Saturday evening when Mattias said police were first called to the Kalamazoo County apartment building where a woman was shot multiple times before later being listed as in serious condition. Hours later, they were called to the car dealership where 2 people were shot and killed, and a third was wounded. 4 people were killed at a third shooting scene in a Cracker Barrel parking lot. A 5th person there was critically wounded. The victims in shooting scenes appeared to have no link apart from the suspect. No motive for the seemingly random shootings had been determined. Jason Dalton, a 45-year-old Uber driver, is expected to be arraigned on murder charges today after allegedly killing those 6 people. Authorities say he randomly shot 8 people in 3 locations in Kalamazoo, Michigan, Saturday evening as he drove around and perhaps even picked up fares. Dalton had no criminal history and lived with his wife and their children, who are 15 and 10 years old.
God.
The tragedy is also a black eye for Uber, whose drivers have been accused of kidnapping, rape, assault, and theft involving their passengers since the company was founded in 2010.
Oh, gee.
Really?
I've not heard that story before. Gosh.
Well, nobody screen checks them. I mean, you think about it. I know if you're driving Uber and you're being offended by that, I understand why you would be offended by me saying that. But but it's true.
Right.
It is true, and that's why the taxi cab guys are up in arms. Mm-hmm. That they have to jump through all kinds of hoops and pay money to be a taxi cab driver, right?
Yeah.
Especially in the bigger cities.
Oh yeah, to get that special shield on their car, $1 million or something it costs, something like that.
I don't know.
It's huge amount.
They call them medallions in New York. I don't know
medallions.
If they call them anything anywhere else. Anyway, so that's a horrible story. All right, we'll do the other news on the other side. That was a cool story from the moon. I'd rather do the moon story. We have another moon story, by the way. A full moon will appear in the sky tonight, named after this month's powdery precipitation. It's called the snow moon.
Oh, nice.
Every full moon has its own name, dating back to Native Americans in the northern and eastern United States. In February, our snowiest month, it became popularly known as the snow moon. So tonight,
I didn't know.
The snow moon, also called the hunger moon.
Oh, okay.
Because of the poor hunting.
Oh.
All right, we'll take a little break and be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. This Monday will feature more clouds and sun. There can be a shower at the coast, the high 77 to 81. For Monday night, partly cloudy skies, lows ranging from 57 well inland to about 65 on the coast. For Tuesday, clouds and limited sun and breezy with a shower or thunderstorm in parts of the area, high 78 to 82. Wednesday, mostly cloudy and windy with a couple of showers and thunderstorms, high 79 to 83. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Joe Lundberg.
Yields a first-time Daytona 500 winner. I'm Joe Moore. This is Monday Morning Race Refresher on the Motor Racing Network.
Waking up to smells of burnt rubber, smoldering campfire, and barbecue sauce. I was there, cheering on the drivers you love and booing the ones you don't, while watching them battle the baddest track in NASCAR. You can bet I was there. Escape reality for a weekend at Talladega.
Experience the Geico 500 April 29th through May 1st. Call 877-GO-TO-DEGA or visit TalladegaSuperspeedway.com.
A sold-out crowd watched Joe Gibbs Racing teams dominate the 58th running of the Daytona 500. But nobody expected what happened on the last lap. Matt Kenseth was firmly in control of the top spot. Then his teammate, Denny Hamlin, made a move to pass. Matt slipped in turn 4, and Denny drove to the bottom of the track and scored a photo finish win over Martin Truex.
I remember pulling up in front of the 4 and him giving me a push and not letting off when he was pushing, and ultimately that was the push to the victory for us. I know we got to the outside of the 18, the 78, and then the 20 came up to block high, and I saw that the middle was going to be the only way I could get around both of them, and we cleared the 20 and dragged race with the 78. But this is a total team effort from Joe Gibbs Racing and Toyota.
Martin Truex came in second yesterday with Kyle Busch third. Kevin Harvick came in fourth, and Carl Edwards was fifth. 6 through 10 were Joey Logano, Kyle Larson, Regan Smith, Austin Dillon, and Kurt Busch. Race 2 of the schedule next Sunday at Atlanta. That's the Monday Morning Race Refresher. I'm Joe Moore on the Motor Racing Network.
PPIR is a networking group formed to serve the realtor and small business community. It primarily serves the real estate and construction industry, but is open to all businesses that provide any service or product to the real estate business community. PPIR has no membership dues or fees for attendees. The watchwords are keep it simple and maximize networking time. PPIR chapters generally meet once a month after business hours. For the information on this, call 352-615-9412 or go to at ppirevents.com. PPIR, professional people in real estate.
12 minutes before 8 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in this Monday morning. I was just looking at this thing. You know, these slideshows that they have on the internet, they drive me nuts sometimes because you have to click on things to see the next picture. So there's an article, I don't know if it's old or not. It's a python that swallowed a porcupine, and the middle of the python is just enormous, and I'm guessing eventually I'm going to see the needles of the porcupine piercing the snake. I don't know. I'm just clicking through these things, and they're just loaded with advertisements on these websites. But anyway, you know, we went to Homosassa Springs State Park on Saturday, and it was just a beautiful day to go to a place like that. and they have a reptile room. Oh, look at this. Now, see, there's a whole ad here. I hate these things.
I know.
These slideshow things. I was looking at this, what do you call it? Python that swallowed a porcupine.
Oh.
And and you click the next thing to see the next picture, hoping you're going to see the needles poking through. And
right, exactly.
And yeah.
Well, you'd think once the snake started, to put him in his mouth, he would get
ow, 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 ow.
Right, exactly.
Oh,
he
this
would
hurts.
just kind of like, just spit it out.
This hurts.
This isn't.
But anyway, so
happen.
there's a reptile building in Homosassa Springs State Park, and okay, that's a nasty picture. Never mind. But anyway, so there's lots of snakes in there, and it is interesting because the state of Florida has decided to years ago, like in the 80s or something, to require that, with the exception of the hippopotamus that is there named Lou, that everything else, plants and animals, will be native to Florida.
Exactly.
And one of the animals that was there was the red wolf. Mm-hmm. I never knew. I don't think I've ever seen a wolf anywhere except for in Little Red Riding Hood books.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen a real wolf. So that was kind of cool to see a wolf. And I've been to Homosassa before. Mm-hmm. I don't think they had the wolf there last time I was there.
No, I don't think so either. But you did a great job capturing it on video. And Homosassa is for strictly native animals. I mean, some people think that, like, when things disperse, like, Silver Springs, that all the animals went there. Well, they didn't, because they're not native to Florida. So they didn't go there.
So if you were walking through the woods and you saw the wolf, you would think it was a dog. I mean, to me, it looked just like a dog.
Yeah, right.
I wonder if they feed it Purina wolf chow.
Yeah. I bet there's a market for that, but he was something. He was absolutely something.
Let's see. Back to the news. British Prime Minister David Cameron will today make his case for Britain staying in the 28-nation European Union in the country's parliament. It comes after he secured concessions from the EU over terms of Britain's membership of the political bloc at a summit in Brussels last week. A referendum on whether Britain should exit the bloc will take place in June. Influential London Mayor Boris Johnson, he's got wild hair too, has said he will urge British voters to leave the European Union in a move that is a major blow for Cameron. I don't know. I don't have a dog in that fight, as they say.
Yeah.
The civil trial begins in the Fox Sports reporter and television personality Erin Andrews' $75 million negligence lawsuit against the Marriott hotels.
Oh.
She accuses the hotel and others of allowing a man to book rooms next to hers and then rig peepholes and film videos of her changing clothes when she was covering a 2008 Vanderbilt University football game in Nashville.
Oh, my God.
So she's suing them for $75 million. Her lawsuit accuses Marriott of negligence, infliction of emotional distress, and invasion of privacy.
I'll say, gosh.
David Barrett, whom she is also suing, was arrested in 2009 and pleaded guilty to stalking and shooting the nude video.
Oh, my God. Wow.
Wow. Do you think the hotel knew that he was going to do that? That's hard to believe. Why would they want to allow somebody to drill holes in their wall?
Yeah. How
Please.
could they know? I mean, he must have done it behind the pictures or something, and then they had the pictures up. Well, maybe that's the reason a lot of pictures are screwed into the walls now.
Yeah, but if you were her attorney, okay, let's assume the hotel had no knowledge that this guy was going to be drilling holes in the wall.
Yeah.
That's got to be true. Okay?
Right.
So she accuses the hotel and others of allowing a man to book rooms next to hers. What, nobody's supposed to have a room next to her? How are you supposed to know that she's, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. So he must have been stalking her and found out covertly what room she was in, and then he did it on his own.
Maybe he lied. Maybe he said that he was good friends with her.
Or he's her entourage.
Maybe, who knows?
Cameraman
who
or
knows?
something.
Right.
No, I don't think the Marriott should be held accountable for that, because how would they know?
How would they know?
Yeah, they wouldn't know.
Well, how much I would give somebody to drill the hole in my room? I wouldn't get anything. These stories always amaze me.
We're going to have to look for a story with a man.
No, I didn't say a man. I said me.
Yeah.
I'm not saying any guy. Fewer women in the Fewer women in the United States are entering adulthood infected with strains of the human papillomavirus. I always say that funny. HPV for short. You probably know it's a sexually transmitted virus that can cause cancer. You might remember the controversy about the vaccine to prevent it being given to girls in high school.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, the study published this morning in Pediatrics is the first to show the declining trend of infection among women in their early 20s.
Well, maybe they're abstaining. Maybe that's the reason.
The researchers believe those women are the leading edge of a generation that should see fewer cases of cervical, vaginal, anal, and throat cancers in the decades ahead. Health officials have recommended vaccines against HPV for girls and young women since 2006 and for boys and young men since 2011.
Gosh.
Okay.
I never liked that shot.
Pope Francis yesterday called for the worldwide abolition of the death penalty.
Oh.
Saying the commandment "you shall not kill" was absolute and equally valid for the guilty as for the innocent. Using some of his strongest words ever against capital punishment, he also called on Catholic politicians worldwide to make a courageous and exemplary gesture by seeking a moratorium on executions during the Church's current Holy Year, which ends in November.
Gosh.
I agree with him. I agree with him, but how's it going to stop ISIS? How's it going to stop people who, like in North Korea? How's it going to stop North Korea from...
That's right. I mean, Kim Jong-un just, executed another one of his fellows.
He said, "I appeal to the consciences of those who govern to reach an international consensus to abolish the death penalty." He told that to tens of thousands of people in St. Peter's Square. The commandment "you shall not kill" has absolute value and applies to both the innocent and the guilty.
So people will say, hey, I can harm this other person. I won't lose my life. I'll die in prison, but so what? I'll still be alive, so I'm going to kill them anyway. That'll be their logic, sure.
The 1.2 billion member Catholic Church allowed the death penalty in extreme cases for centuries, but the position began to change under the late Pope John Paul, who died in 2005. The Pope added that there was now a growing opposition to the death penalty, even for the legitimate defense of society, because modern means existed to efficiently repress crime without definitively denying the person who committed it the possibility of rehabilitating themselves. That's a quote, by the way.
Gee.
Pope Francis made the comments to throw his weight behind an international conference against the death penalty starting today in Rome and organized by the Sant'Egidio community, a worldwide Catholic peace and justice group.
Maybe you should try to sit down with the ISIS leaders. No, it's not gonna work. You're always gonna have barbarism.
You want your Donald Trump story of the morning?
Yes, I do.
Donald Trump, who won the South Carolina primary Saturday, said on Friday that the United States needed to get tough with Islamic jihadists, illustrating his position with a story about how U.S. Army General John Pershing executed Muslim terrorists in the Philippines in the early 1900s.
Oh, good for him to bring that up.
Donald Trump said, quote, "I read a story. It's a terrible story, but I'll tell you. Early in the century, last century, General Pershing, did you ever hear? Rough guy. And they, I love the way they quote everything he said.
I know, it's great. I love it.
And they
It's
had
wonderful.
a terrorism problem," Trump continued, referring to how the U.S. was battling radical Muslims in the Philippines. "And there's a whole thing with swine and animals and pigs, and you know the story. They don't like that. They were having a tremendous problem with terrorism. Pershing caught 50 terrorists," Trump said. "He took 50 bullets and he dipped them in pig's blood. And he had his men load his rifles and he lined up the 50 people and they shot 49 of those people. And the 50th person, he said, you go back to your people and tell them what happened. And for 25 years, there wasn't a problem."
Oh, I like that. That's absolutely wonderful.
Oh, gosh, Robin.
It is. I like that. He made a point.
We better start getting tough and we better start getting vigilant, Trump said.
That's right.
We better.
That's why the American people like him, because he's a no-nonsense guy.
The Pope says no death penalty. Donald Trump says shoot them with pig's blood.
Yeah, well, they don't see eye to eye. Not everybody's going to see eye to eye with everybody. Wow, what a story. I've never heard that story. Have you?
No.
No General Pershing?
No.
Good thing he has
Trump,
that story.
Trump told that story at a rally in North Charleston, South Carolina, just before winning the primary.
Good for him. People are tired of politicians. They're fed up with everything. They want to change. And why not?
If I was standing in that line, I would say, give me the pig's blood. Just do away with the bullet. The bullet is the part I'm afraid of. The pig's blood I'm fine with. I'm fine with the pig's blood. Give me the pig's blood. All right, we'll take a little break and move forward on the other side. Oh, Galen, you know on the other side.
Yes.
We have spring break starting in this country already.
Yeah.
Already.
I know, it's
and
great.
the kids, the young college kids are coming for the theme parks.
I love the youth.
Well, I've got the 10 worst theme parks in the world when Galen is on the air. We'll be right back.